Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Downs Rough podcast. I'm John, joined by JT. Once again, we're doing a Pats review. They played Sunday at Lambeau, lost 27-24 in overtime, making them 1-3 on the season. But I must say, I've never been happier after a loss.
Now, to say I was happy after the loss, I think I wouldn't say that. I was honestly really disappointed. But obviously, in retrospect, it's like, we did amazing. Like, we had no chance to win this game, and we put it into OT against Aaron Rodgers. Like, I understand that. But I think we could have been a little more aggressive, knowing that we were kind of at the disadvantage at the end of the game. And we kind of were like, hopefully the defense stops them. Like, I don't know. It left a bad taste in my mouth at the end of the game. We were doing so well until the very end.
All right, so I can elaborate, I guess, on me saying happy, right? Like, we talked about it last week. We were expected to get torched, right?
We made it competitive.
And then, when Hoyer goes down early, thanks to Tua, with all due respect, because of Tua's concussion stuff, Hoyer gets tapped in the head, and the NFL's like, we can't have this again. We can't have this bad publicity again. He's done for the game. That was quick. Like,
not just in our game, like anytime. Like, they took it very seriously this week. They pulled so many players.
Because he got tapped. Like, it wasn't that hard a hit. He seemed fine.
I must say this, John. Isaiah Wynn is trying to get people fucking killed out there on the field. He got replaced by Marcus Cannon,
who looked good.
Okay, but how do you lose that job? You're young. You're supposed to be you got moved to right tackle because you were such a bad left tackle, and now you're such a bad right tackle. Like,
he's not good.
Oh, I know he's not good, but be serviceable at least. Like, we picked him up off the streets, and he's doing better. Like, I don't know what to say.
There's a reason there were so many trade rumors on him, and I think the reason the deal didn't get done was not because of us. I'm pretty sure it was not because of us the deal didn't get done. I don't know what team would have wanted him. Now no team probably wants him. We're stuck with him. So we'll see. I don't know if it means Marcus Cannon's going to get elevated from the practice squad and be the right tackle. I think he should. He was good. The run game seemed to be better with him.
It was phenomenal for a bit of that game.
I also thought the pass protection was good. It's just Bailey Zapp isn't experienced and held the ball on too long and didn't know when he needs to throw it away and whatnot. Should we just get into Bailey Zapp?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we went 10 for 15, 99 yards, a TD, no interceptions, I think 3 sacks. This kid, right? I don't even know where he went his first 4 years. It was like Houston Baptist or something, like some no name. I don't really know.
It's like I don't even know.
And then he goes to D1, Western Kentucky, not like something to write home about, and puts up absolute Madden numbers. I think nearly 6,000 passing yards, 62 TDs, something like that. I don't know the exact numbers.
That's about right.
And gets him a career, an NFL career because of it, and props to him. But the jump from Western Kentucky to the NFL is an absurd one to say. I mean, you saw in preseason, you saw there was arm talent, I will say. There were times it looks good, but truthfully, I don't think he knew where the ball would be going. That's what I gathered from preseason. And he just wasn't ready, which was expected. He's a third stringer. We don't plan on him playing, right? So the jump from Western Kentucky to preseason was very known, especially when he's going against third and fourth stringers and kind of struggling a little bit. There's moments, but in general, struggling. And then he gets put into this game at Lambeau, going against Aaron Rodgers. He's had 3 regular season games to watch. He's had practices to develop. And I was freaking out. I'm like, this game's over. This is going to be ugly.
Oof, you weren't even texting me back during the game. I was getting hype.
I was going off in that group chat we have because people love to troll. And I love to troll, but sometimes in certain topics, I can't deal with the trolling. I'm just going to be straight up. So when it comes to let Bailey Zapp air it out, I couldn't deal with that. I got angry. I thought it'd be a lot uglier than it was, and he held his own. He held his own. He gave us a chance to win. He gave us an opportunity. He didn't ruin the game. Props to Bailey Zapp. That's really my thing. I feel like you're gonna have a bolder take, and I'm gonna let you take it.
No, I mean, I'm probably not. I don't think I'm too high on Bailey Zappi. Again, I saw him in the preseason, John. I went to some of those things at Gillette. This guy cannot hit a target if he wanted to. It is tough. Like sometimes it's like he'll throw a beautiful ball, but for every beautiful ball, there's like 3 really inaccurate ones. And I'm just like, you can't have that, especially on this team. Like that's not acceptable. But they kind of did what they did with Mac when he was a rookie. They really like condensed what he was doing on a lot of the plays. They were like, obviously we're running it a million times because, we're not risking it, throwing it as much. And I think to a point for the running attack, it looked amazing. Damian Harris looked fresh. He was being a dog out there, and Stevenson had his moments too. But I think really Damian Harris stole the day at the run game. He was unbelievable.
Yeah. He was great. It really is a shame because every time I watch him, I just know he's gone after this year.
Hey, I've been preaching it too. I love Damian Harris, and he is just no one seems to care.
But I do want to say Ramondre was fantastic too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks because you're like, does Ramondre just get worse blocking when he's in? Like there are times where you're like, what's going on? I also think he does more of the outside runs, which are obviously have a bigger chance to not be successful, especially when, one of our tackles, I will say, is not great. There was a moment in the game, I guess, where Trent Brown said to someone, I don't know, but was just like, keep running on my side because he was having a field day. But going off the Zappy thing, it was just a coaching masterclass, and it's a shame it didn't get rewarded. And no one's going to talk about it unless you're a Patriots fan.
People think we suck, John. People think that we are 1-3 and dead. But I said this. There's a couple things I said last week. I want to re-bring up. This being the first one. Last week I was like, we have such a veteran team that it almost doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The floor of our team is going to be the same every game because our defense is strong. We win games with defense. Our run game is strong. And then the pass game we've been trying to put together the whole season. So you're already there. Insert Mac Jones again at any point this season. The sky's the limit if he can develop even a little bit this year. He didn't show us much to start. So we'll see. I mean, I still have hope, but I need to know when Mac's coming back.
I definitely have hope because the coaching on all levels was great. I even thought Patricia's play calling is good to me. I think it's been 2 games.
Not only 2 games, but there were 2 drives. Those 2 touchdown drives we had. The play calling was beautiful. Every single one. Every run was a success. Every pass was a success. I was like, the Devontae Parker thing, which, we might have cheesed the clock a little bit there. I think they were really we're about to give him 2 delay of games in a row it's his first game. We need to relax.
So what that was
it was close. It was
there's the pushing the clock up, right? That the refs do. And when the play clock hits 0, it's supposed to stay at 0. They put it back up to 40 as soon as it hit 0. So the refs thinking, oh, we pushed the clock up. That's what it was. When no, it was just a complete delay of game. But honestly, what I said, because I was at a Pats viewing party at Gillette.
Oh, nice.
It was a good time. There was some annoying fans, but whatever. I digress. If you're a Packers fan, you can't be mad that there's no reason the Patriots should be in the game. It's just the kind of thing where if I was the Patriots, roles reversed, I wouldn't be mad at the delay game. I would be like, why is this even a game?
Yeah,
we should be destroying them.
Close. It shouldn't come down to that.
But I want to highlight a moment that to me was the biggest coaching thing that was just amazing was. And the shout out to the CBS TV crew for catching this was you see Bailey Zapp literally about to crap his pants on the sideline on the bench. The moment is so big for him. And no, I don't blame him. First drive, yeah, an easy pass to Ramondre for 2 yards, and he like completely missed him. Like I think I can name 50 of people I know who aren't NFL players
You said
who could make it.
You were like, every single one of us hits that pass.
I'm
every
convinced.
single one of us.
Yeah, but again, I don't want to like blame him. Like that is, I can't think of in recent time like a bigger moment for a guy to step in, right? Like he's not thinking he's playing this year, and he has to go in Lambeau. It's also, mind you, very close to the goal line, so he gets the fans behind him that are insanely loud,
screaming at him
because they know he's scared. So like I don't want to get mad at him too, or critique him too much. But what I'm saying is, moment's really big, and he is like visibly rattled, as he should be. And you see Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia, I believe, like on a knee in front of him, just talking to him, calming him down. Bill is like dumbing down what he has to do, really like settling him down. And you could see next drive he was good to go. And I don't know if there's a lot of coaches that would be able to do it, because that's a tough task to take this 24-year-old coming from Western Kentucky after 1 year. He's not expecting to play in his first games in Lambeau. Everyone's screaming at him. And Bill was able to truly calm him down and make him have a good day.
I mean, it was honestly, I will say, like, I know you were really mad. Like I said this when we drafted him. Like I was like, you always need like something on the back burner. You always need a backup quarterback. And you were like, no, it's a waste of a 4th round pick. And I was like, you know what? To that, I say fair. But now it's like, okay, we did this for a reason. It's obviously not going to work out like it should right now. But the point is, what I was trying to get to is that like other quarterbacks, all the other earlier ones, Bailey Zappi threw the first touchdown of all the rookies.
He did.
Pickens on his first pass attempt threw a pick.
Kenny
He threw
Pickett,
3 in the game.
So 2 of them were not his fault, but
it's still a pick. That happened to Mac. It's still Mac's throwing picks. Like, all right, I don't care.
Yep.
But to that point, like, I really think this 4th round pick may not be as bad as you once thought. I think this might have actually come back a little bit in my favor when I was like, hey, like this is something Bill likes to do and it normally works out. And because for whatever reason, every time we get to a backup quarterback, the backup quarterback always gets hurt. We always go to the 3rd. It happened with Brady. It happened with Jimmy. Like Brissett. It was just like just keep going down the quarterbacks. As soon as one gets hurt, it's like you just go down the list.
That is fair. I'm still not gonna be out here defending that pick.
I mean,
I still can't, like, because I can also go, heading into this week, you fully knew Mac wasn't going to play. You could pick up someone off the scrap heap, and he could do exactly what Bailey Zapp did, right? I understanding an offense takes longer than a week, but you can dumb it down for the guy, and it can be okay, right? So I'm not willing to say, what I will say is whatever you thought of Bailey Zapp, it has to be higher after this week. It has to be.
Great.
You cannot go out of this week thinking anything worse of him. There was clear improvements and
touchdown, no pick. I mean, like he fumbled, but like, again, Isaiah Wynn is trying to get someone killed. Like he's literally chasing the defender who's about to blindside Zappi. Like I'm serious, John. Like I'm really concerned about that. Now that's what we're doing in the first round of the draft. We're gonna get a nice pick. We're gonna get a tackle for the right side because my God, do we need help?
Yes.
Andrews is only getting older. We're gonna need a center eventually too.
Center is a lot easier to replace than tackle, I will say.
For sure.
And just want to say, not that I was negative on the first round pick of Strange. You were higher, obviously. I was not all in. Incredible pick. Like if you were to grade every first round pick, he has to be top tier because that dude doesn't make mistakes and he is fantastic in the run game. And he's a rookie. Like
that's what I said when we made the pick. I was like, John, what if they hit this right and he's the next who's the Colts player? I forget.
Quentin Nelson.
What if he's the next Quentin Nelson? He's a guard. So what if we pick him early? They picked Quentin Nelson way earlier.
Yeah.
And like Chattanooga, small school. I get that. I get the concerns. He didn't look great at the Senior Bowl or
Season.
whatever. But I mean, he's just looked like a stud out there. He's been a star of our O-line for sure. I haven't really heard much about the right guard, Owenu. I haven't really heard his name.
He's been locked down from what I've seen, at least.
The tackles in the center, dude.
It's just win side. That's the tough part. But look, preseason we were not feeling good about the O-line. I think we can agree we're feeling better, even though this week was alarming with Win.
I just didn't think the biggest issue was going to be Win moving to right tackle where it's easier. Like I didn't think that was going to be the issue, and of course it is. Like,
yeah,
it's just unfortunate.
Can we move on to the defense?
Yeah,
I want to say something.
Well, special teams. How about that?
Special teams. We'll go special teams.
Last week on this podcast, John.
Did we say what I think we said?
I was like, I don't know why we have Marcus Bryant taking punt returns. It needs to be Marcus Jones. He's a specialist. This needs to happen. This should be happening. This week, they must have listened to this podcast because they threw him in there multiple times, and every time was a spectacular punt return. I was like, this is exactly what I've been calling for, and now that it's happening, it's working.
He was incredible. Kick returns too. He was good, and I'm so confident in him catching it, and when he tucks it, I'm very confident he's not going to fumble it. Like, he seems very safe with it, and I love it.
It was
He was fantastic. Fantastic.
And you know what? I'm glad I could have, seen that was an issue last week. And then they just immediately, they're like, you know what? We also need to start doing this.
You know what, JT from Time into the Podcast, you're right. They must have listened. Had to have.
It was impressive too. Like, they were keeping him in the game the entire game.
Dude, he was like our best offensive weapon. No, but it was definitely like a punt happened, and I'm like, I need Marcus Jones to get 20 for us to score. Like, and he would do it.
He would, and then we'd get a penalty, and like a holding penalty, and we're just going back 10 yards. And the penalties were bad. This is one of the first games of the season where I've been like, penalties are an issue. We got a ton of special teams penalties, which are so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I'd say a couple offensive penalties that just killed drives. Like, not that, we were really pushing the ball down the field. There were 2 drives we did, and most of it came from the run game. So
truly a high school offense. It truly was.
You said that. You're like, this is Pop Warner right here. This
is Pop Warner. I think I texted it to you. I said, we're playing Pop Warner football.
And you know what? We did a great job. But let's talk about the defense, though. You know who we want to talk about. We've been preaching John.
How long have we been talking about this guy?
Preseason.
Jack Jones. He is him.
And you know what? This is just, you just love Bill for this. Bill just gets corners who are dogs.
Absolute dog. He is him. Now, I want to start with a bit of a negative from him because I have one critique. Tackling's a little rough.
He's small.
He's a little small. When he has momentum, his tackling's fantastic.
He really throws his body at people.
Yeah.
Like, you can really see it, but he is small. So it's like if he's touching your shoulders, like kind of when you're coming across, like you're gone. I saw
there was
the running back run through him like 10 times.
A couple times you hope he would have tripped up Aaron Jones. He wasn't able to do it. Romeo Dobbs would have a couple screen passes, and Jones would tackle him, but not before he got 5 extra yards. So the tackling is an issue. The good thing is he's such a good cover corner that usually, the guy isn't able to get it. There was also one play where I believe it might have been Christian Watson had the reverse. Jack Jones was so stuck on the guy he was supposed to cover because the guy didn't try to block him. He ran a route, I think. So he was stuck on covering him. You wish he would have recognized that Watson has the ball and is going on the outside and try to make a play. But he's a rookie. And for what he did, he, honestly kind of carried the team a little bit for a while.
He had 7 points. That was our whole first half.
The fumble, great punch out.
They
then
do
recovered
that.
it.
By the way, they do that very aggressively this year. I noticed they punch at the football more than I've seen any other team I've watched.
Yeah.
Maybe the Niners do it just as well because that's another team that they're looking for fumbles.
Yeah.
And,
He also recovered the fumble.
yeah, I know. He was a dog. He fully carried the team for a bit. And another thing, when you were saying like, his tackling's not as good. I think I think it had to do more with the coverage they were playing. They were playing a lot of man and zone, and they were kind of trying to force Rodgers to take the short and easy stuff. So that's why he's like off the guy. So obviously, when there's a lot of space, he's going to be able to make a move on you. So like, I don't know if it had as much to do with him not tackling as well, or it's just like open field versus receiver, and you're trying not to get burnt by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It did happen a couple times, so it was like it was
Yeah.
noticeable.
Jonathan
Like,
Jones got lucky on that one play.
I mean, I think they had like Tanya got one. Of course, I didn't start him in fantasy. I'm so dumb. I saw Duggar was playing, and I was just like, oh, it's a lock. He's not touching the ball. And of course, always a touchdown.
I want to say something about Duggar, but just to wrap up the Jack Jones thought, because that is our boy. Like, you're gonna be every time he does well. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to listen to us talk about how he did well. Pick 6 on Aaron Rodgers, first one in like 3,500 pass attempts or something
rookie,
at home.
By the way,
as a rookie, also a tough catch by him. Like, it wasn't a great. You had to kind of.
What was the receiver doing on that play? I watched it like a bunch of times. He literally falls, and I was just like,
yeah,
it wasn't like offensive pass or defensive pass. He's not pushing off him. Like, he wasn't even touching him. He just fell. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and he's got the swagger with it too. That just he's playing
band.
football in a hoodie, man. Like,
no bands today though. No bands.
no bands, but he's got a hoodie on.
He did have a hoodie on. I saw the hood coming out.
Yeah, but and then anytime he was in coverage, other than some screen passes, like lockdown, but very, very exciting. And personally, I'm willing to go as far to say as you need to keep him on the outside. I don't know if that means you put Mills in the slot or even Jonathan Jones in the slot or something. But to me, Jack Jones needs to be on the outside because that is a major part of your future, let alone, this year. Because he's going in, he's not a negative. He's clearly a positive.
I think we're slowly starting to see a rise in the young stars of our team. Like, it's really just starting to peak out right now, at least with the rookies.
Yep.
And there's other young people on our team too. Like, I couldn't even like Ramondre, obviously, like he's second year. Like, even Damian Harris, who's going into his 4th year, like he's still on a rookie contract. Like, he's really just coming out this year again as a good running back. And then there's on the defense, like Wise coming out. He's not young, but
it's a vet.
Still coming out. Like, he hasn't produced
fourth game in a row where he was sensational. I thought.
My boy.
Is that a Judon jersey? It is a Judon jersey.
Backwards crap.
he had a good game as well.
Quietly, 4 sacks in 4 games. Very quiet.
Very quiet.
I mean, hey, 4 sacks in 4 games is a good ratio.
The defense was great. Also, no Lawrence Guy, which you kind of noticed at the end of the game, which I do want to touch on a little bit. But my Kyle Duggar thing is, I don't know if we judge like who the best tacklers in the NFL are or if that's a thing, but we need to start talking about Kyle Duggar because some of his tackles are absurd. There are times where he'll make like 4 straight tackles, like 4 straight plays. And I'm like, is he the only one playing defense? And like, he's tackling big guys. Like it'd be AJ Dillon, who is, 250-pound unit running full steam at him. And
he's scary.
Stuff like that.
He's like Derrick Henry scary.
He is. Adrian Phillips also had a great game.
The messed up part too is they have Aaron Jones, the combo with him. That is, and I hate the setup where it's Aaron Jones to one side.
Setup, I think it's called.
Yeah, you're right. Tony Romo said it like a million times. I was like, I hate that you keep saying this and they keep using these play because then it's like, which way are we going?
They have to though. They truly. I'll give credit to Romeo Dobbs because he is actually legit. I think for a rookie, but they really don't have good wideouts, and Tanyan is subpar, maybe average. He's
He's letting me down this year.
So yeah, they have to use their elite running backs, so the two best offensive weapons for him. I think really just two things, maybe two things I want to touch on, and then I'm good. One, disappointing year for Barmore.
No, getting double blocked more than any other D tackle on our team and on other teams.
Yeah, but also like he's not playing a ton of snaps, which I know he didn't play a ton rookie year. Rookie year, he was more like, if we need to apply pressure, you put him in.
I mean, yeah, he's not going in on passing downs. Like, you don't
But
want.
I don't know. I was just hoping second year, after that first year, which was so intriguing, that a bunch of stats comparing him to great defensive tackles that made you go, whoa, you might really have something. And year two seems like almost, if anything, his snaps are decreasing, his opportunities are decreasing. Just something to note. Maybe, considering Bill loves to, bench Kendrick Bourne because of his practices and whatnot, which I'm not going to go on another rant about that, even though he got more time. Maybe Barmore's having some tough practices and he wants to make it known that he is. But I think the final thing I want to touch on, because we texted about it a bit, because you're a big Mac Wilson guy.
Oh,
In last podcast, I literally trashed on Jelani Tavai, who had a great game.
You know why he's playing. You know why. He can tackle the running back.
He can tackle the running back. That's fair. He was very successful.
Not Aaron Jones.
He was successful when he had real opportunities to tackle the guys, I would say. No Raekwon McMillan. You're hoping Mac Wilson plays more, but truly he kind of got benched.
He played a lot in the beginning for sure, and then definitely got benched. That was
I don't know. It's just tough. Like I really don't like seeing him out there. But there were times where I'm like, oh, he made a good tackle, man.
I think he's a good spy linebacker, like who spies on the quarterback. Like when we face a quarterback, like against Lamar, like was a perfect example. He's like spying Lamar and like just going to the sideline. He's always getting there in time because he's fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit smaller, so like he's definitely not taking down AJ Dillon. Like he's gonna get toasted every time he tries to tackle him.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a personnel thing. Like it's just there's a lot of players in our team that are like in specific personnel packages, you fit perfectly. But like say it's a like pass rushing down, like we want to get to the quarterback, like you were saying, Barmore. Like I don't know if you want Barmore rushing the passer up the middle. Like you probably just throw. I don't know who else we'd throw in there. I mean, that's just not my decision. But you can tell the play time's there. Like
it's not your decision, but what would your decision be?
I mean, I'm playing Barmore. I thought he was a dog last year.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. He probably should be playing more, but
you also didn't have Lawrence Guy this week. Like
that's a good point.
I don't know. It's
who played instead. It was that rookie from
Quale.
Yeah, he plays a lot too.
Which look, here's the thing. It's just to me at a certain point, we are trying to develop these guys. And I know, it's the Patriot way. That's more important to the coaching staff and whatnot. But at a certain point, you are 1-3. I know this is intriguing and you think, there is stuff to build on and there is a world where you can make a playoff run or whatnot. But either way, if you make the playoffs, you're not going anywhere, right? So I do think there is a certain point where how long is Quale going to be a Patriot? Not as long as Christian Barmore is. That's just a fact.
Hopefully.
If he is on the Patriots longer than Barmore, I will really not be happy because I don't know. It's just Quale is like, okay, but Barmore has a chance to be great. And the Patriots just see it as, if we kind of discipline Barmore or really like nail down, the Patriot way with him, he'll have a breakout year 4, year 5. Like, I feel like that's kind of been their strategy with guys, It's just a little frustrating as a fan. Like, we're 1-3. We aren't elite. I would like to see the guy who had a very promising rookie year, who's a second-round pick, play a lot of snaps. That's simple.
Who are saying, Mac may play this coming week, They're saying that already.
He might. I mean,
better have a taped up foot.
He probably wants to look good in those throwback unis, He's probably been waiting. Throwback weekends.
Do you think what is going to happen this next week? I bet the Detroit Lions are just so lost trying to get ready for this game. They're like, is Mac coming back? Is Hoyer playing? Is it Bailey Zappi?
Detroit is the best offense in the league.
I saw that, but we're going to get some turnovers here. Come on.
No, I definitely have faith. If you lose this game, season's done. Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah, we can wrap it up.
We can wrap it up. We're still gonna do these, but
we're still gonna get wins, but it's not gonna be like we're not making the playoffs.
Right. And we're still gonna do these, reviews and whatnot. It's just we're gonna, I think this game, even though it was a loss, is kind of intriguing because you're like, we actually have a legit team. It's just like kind of when Mac comes back, Mac needs to be good if you want something to work.
Bill might be tanking our season, I'm going to be honest, because the outlook on this game, had we been 2-2 right now, had we won that game, had we been a little more aggressive in overtime, like, what would we be talking about right now? We'd be like, all right, wait, Matt comes back, we just go on a run. Like, that's literally the plan. Now it's like, well, like, does it even matter if Matt comes back anytime soon? Like,
hey, man, if Bill's tanking, then he definitely was listening to our podcast because that's what I've been preaching.
Like, yep.
He's like, these boys know. I'll put Marcus Jones to satisfy one of them, and I'll tank for the other. But I do have one more thing, which, over time, AJ Dillon's kind of just getting chunk yards, running plays, and fans at this, watch party I was at were screaming and yelling and being very upset and, just tackle him. I heard a lot of that, right? I don't think you understand, and I don't understand this, right? But I can acknowledge this, honestly, just like from a science perspective and from even just getting trucked by someone, I kind of get this. 70 minutes of trying to tackle a 250-pound monster can't be fun and has to hurt. So I would just appreciate to go a little easy, and try to think a little bit. Why is AJ Dillon able to get 5 to 6 yards every run? I don't know. Probably because these guys don't want to tackle him after an hour of it. The Pats lost the toss. They did their job. They got the stop at first. It was our job to get a field goal, and we couldn't. I don't think you can really be mad at the defense for struggling to tackle AJ Dillon at the 70th minute.
Which, again, goes to my point where why are we not gambling a little bit here? Why are we not just going for it on 4? Is it 4th and 5? You take that chance and we lose the game, totally fine. Don't care.
I am kind of with you because I think
we're not stopping Aaron Rodgers. What are you guys saying?
It was kind of just like all the cards. When we got the ball, I think everyone was kind of like, it's not ending in a tie. Like, that was our one shot. We stopped him once in OT. That's it.
What more can you ask for in OT? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Because also, it was a great Marcus Jones return, and you're at midfield. Like, you just need a first down or two, and it's a field goal chance.
Gotta go for that.
It
was so conservative and soft. Like, I don't care if he could throw a pick on that play, and I do not care. Pick 6, don't care.
Because the other thing, JT, is let's say their plan's a tie, right?
Why?
That's it. Let's say they get the tie. Okay, you're 1-2-1, and you got the Dolphins who are 3-1, and you have the Bills who are 3-1. It's like a tie doesn't mean crap. It really doesn't.
No win.
You kind of.
I was freaking out watching the end of the game. I was like, "This is we've lost." As soon as we punted 4th and 5, I was like, "The game is over. There is no chance. I don't care if it's on their 2. They are marching from one end of the field to the 40, kicking the field goal. Or they got even further than that. They got to like the 30. I was like, all right, wrap it up."
No, they got really close. But I also do have to acknowledge, hey, It is Bailey Zapp at quarterback. You definitely could not be feeling good that he was under center when you needed
I
a
mean,
first down, fourth down.
I mean, listen, I know hindsight is 2020, but look at the alternative. Like, we just lost the game because we gave the ball back. Could not make a stop.
But at the same time, if you're going, hey, 4-down territory, let's go. It was 3rd and 5. Run it again.
Yeah, I think it was like 2nd and 6.
We ran
It
it.
was
Got a
2nd and
yard.
6. They ran it, got a yard, and then they went incomplete on 3rd down. That was the one where Bourne was being held. Again, another bad reffing miss. Like,
Yeah.
Bourne literally tweeted about it after. He was like, "This is literally the most important play of the game for us, and there's just me being held on the field."
There was definitely the refs did not want the Packers to lose. It was clear. And I'm not gonna blame the refs for why we lost.
It was the money line. They had the money line.
I'm not gonna blame the refs for why we lost, but it was if you watch the game, and I know people are gonna go, oh, but the play clock.
I mean, yeah, that was like
it was
understandable.
Yeah, but at the same time, there were a lot of flags against the Patriots that were just obscure, confusing.
Like, we get one that entire game, like one real break, and it's like it's a little more like visual, like you can see that it's a problem.
Yeah,
So people like freak out about it, but like
it was just a constant. What's going on?
We got, I think by the 4th quarter we had 7 penalties for 75 yards. I was like,
yeah, but I'm not gonna act like refs were the reason we lost.
No, not at all.
But
no, they won that game.
I guess our point is you should be looking maybe 4-down territory, 3rd and 5. Run it again. Maybe it's a 4th and 2, and now Green Bay's going, are they throwing or are they passing? Or are they passing or are they running?
It was a bad pass he threw on 3rd down too. That was ugly. Which did concern me going on the 4th down, but they were just like, nah, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, at a certain point, I think I've said this before. I might have even said it to you, is like the teams that usually play to not lose. And that's kind of what they did at the end.
What we did.
They literally played to not lose the game. They lost the game. You gotta go for the win sometimes. Okay. But that's also hindsight 2020. And I don't wanna, critique Belichick too much because that coaching staff had a masterclass performance, and any real football fan should be able to recognize that.
100%. They've definitely looked much better. I do like that Patricia's starting to improve. He really has come into his own a little bit as a play caller and make some nice play calls.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that we're seeing all these good play calls right now and we don't have Mac Jones. Like, it's like, wow, we're getting these really good plays out, not developing our quarterback at all. Like, he's going to have to do all this for the first time again.
Yep.
So it's tough, but I do think it'll be good for Mac though. So that, like, Patricia's going to be able to have like an identity at this point and be like, all right, I really like running these plays. I think these work. Mac, like, we're going to throw you in there and it's hopefully going to be more efficient. Now, I'm sure some of them are going to get scrapped because Mac's going to be like, I'm not doing this. Obviously.
Yeah. Let's touch on that a bit. Speaking of Mac.
Oh no, he's being a little
Albert Breer, who is usually spot on with his Pat stuff,
which I hated. I hated seeing it from him.
Said there's some, was it friction issues with Mac and
each other,
the Patriots, and
it has to be about the injury. Like, I don't know what we're talking about here.
That's what I'd assume, and I think we all were kind of expecting that, but
I don't even know what it's about. Like, to be honest,
if it's about the injury, honestly, I'm on Mac's side. It's his body. He wants to take care of it the natural way. Because, like, truthfully, if you opt for surgery, that kind of ruins your body for a while. Like, that's a permanent thing. Rehabbing it's the better way to go, even though it's a longer timetable. Mm-hmm. But you can also look at the Patriots side and go, dude, you are a franchise quarterback, and this is the most important year to develop you. We need you back ASAP.
So that's all right. Here's what I'm going to say. So from what I understood, it was the Patriots originally wanted Mac to get surgery so he could be back in 4 weeks.
Yep.
And then Mac was like, no, I don't want surgery. I got a second opinion. It sounds like it's a better diagnosis than a severe high ankle sprain. And now they're not doing surgery. Like, he has not had surgery. He's just growing it, like letting it heal naturally. But people are saying he's going to play like this soon. I don't know how we've come to here where it's like, oh, Mac could play next week with his like hurt ankle.
I think he
I'm like,
could.
how is
Uh,
it? They're just gonna tape it up and it's just like healed? Like, I don't understand why we were talking about surgery then. Why were we ever talking about surgery?
there's a lot of stuff in medicine to be able to like dull pain. I mean, you see Herbert with his issues, and they put a shot in him, and he can play. I mean, he's clearly injured, but
Aaron Rodgers is taking Xanax during games.
well, yeah. I mean, maybe honestly, he might have done it during our game. Look at his first half and the second half.
It was the Percocets. That's
Have you seen that the interview where it's
Oh,
clear he's high, and the first half stats he had 34 yards and I think an interception, and the second half stats are he had 287 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he said he took the painkillers at halftime. So it's like that's what it was. But the other thing is Pats could have denied a second opinion. They
but not like
didn't.
why would you? Like they're not being optimistic too.
No,
Like
I understand, but I'm saying as far as Mac and the Patriots having friction, I feel like there's no reason to have friction because the Pats like, this is what we want you to do. And he said, I want a second opinion. They went, okay, get your second opinion. And then he tells them the second opinion and they go, okay, let's roll with that. Like,
I don't know why.
So that makes me go, is it about the injury?
But then what else could we be talking about? Is Mac already looking for a contract extension? Like we're not that far out.
Does he want more weapons? Which, to be honest,
no.
This is the dumbest narrative I have heard from anybody who isn't a Patriots fan. It's that there's no weapons. You have Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, who you don't use, okay? But that is not on the Patriots or the coaching staff.
Ooh, Jonnu got hurt too. I actually didn't get an update about that.
Jonnu did get hurt. But point is, 2 tight ends who are good. You can't deny whether they're good or not. They may not be performing, but they're good. Right? Is that fair to say?
100%.
Okay. Nelson Aguilar at worst is a wide receiver too. I think that is fair. Obviously, right, if he goes to, the Dolphins, he's wide receiver 3. But I'm saying on the average team, he's a wide receiver 2. Jacoby Myers is probably a high-end wide receiver 2.
Another 2. We have a lot of 2s.
Kendrick Bourne, I think's 1, but
no, he's a 2.
He is for sure a 2. And obviously, maybe this is where Mac has issues, is he's not playing enough. Could be. Devontae Parker's a wide receiver 2 as well. So you got 4 wide receiver 2s, which, is good. And then you have 2 arguably tight end 1s. And then you have your halfbacks who are great, and you have a solid O-line. I think you have enough there. You have a better supporting cast than some of these other guys have.
I just can't see it about like being like, he's like, I want weapons. Like, yeah, you played at Alabama with the 3 of the best receivers ever. Like, my bad.
To me, the Bourne thing makes the most sense because they're boys.
I actually do think that could be it.
That makes the most sense if he's like, yo, he needs to play more. Like, he's open all the time.
But would that really cause friction with him and like the organization rather than just like the coach?
That's true.
Like, I don't think
maybe
apparently these are big, like, this is friction between him and the Patriots. And I don't understand that. I don't know what that means. Hopefully we get a little more clarity on that in the future. I'm sure that
it's annoying, but Mac amazes me, and he, makes me awfully.
He's making me question it.
He's making me question some things, which I was super high on him. I've had some takes on him. I thought he's had a great rookie year, and I was very hopeful. And this year, I'm not 180ing, but he's making me start to go, hey, if we do bad enough, I like Will Levis out of Kentucky. I think he's pretty good.
You know what it is, John?
What?
All of a sudden, last year everything felt nice. It's like a girlfriend almost. It starts out always great, and then all of a sudden, John, there's just these little red flags that they just keep popping up, and they seem to be popping up a lot more often lately
at a rapid rate.
And I do not like that trend. That needs to change. He needs to get back on the right foot with the team, and as like being healthy. Like, he's in trouble right now. Like, he's not playing. Like, you're not developing in your second year. Like, we say it all the time. Very important. So, that's just hard.
I also do want to say there are plenty of Hall of Fame quarterbacks who have struggled their second year.
Yeah, 100%.
Tom
But
Brady.
I want to see him improve.
Really
I don't want
did.
to see him regress.
Yeah, no, obviously improved throughout the year. Honestly, the best thing he's done this year is provide us with a Pats quote of day to day. That's the best thing he's done all season. But
Shout out Belichick for that, though.
final thing I want to say before we wrap it up, talking about max weapons. I'm just gonna say all the QBs in his draft class who are playing, and you tell me, would you rather max weapons or the other QB's weapons? Just a quick thing. Trevor Lawrence.
I think we'd rather ours. No, am I tripping?
I would say
Cheap
ours, but I
protection.
will admit it's close. If someone says Jaguars, I don't fault them.
I would fault them. I don't. The only good receiver they have is Christian Kirk.
But at the same time, isn't he just a wide receiver 2 playing at wide receiver 1, right?
So why would I want hit there?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. So Mac, Zach
Correct.
Wilson.
This could be up for debate.
I might say Zach Wilson, honestly.
At least with the future of like the receivers you have, because you have Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore, who are two really good young receivers, even though Elijah Moore hasn't produced for shit in fantasy at all this year, which is really making me sad because I was really high on him.
We both were, yeah.
Oh,
but I will say Zach Wilson.
Yep.
Obviously this guy's hurt, but Trey Lance. I would say Mac, because after Debo, what do you have?
Ayuk. After
I guess
that,
Kittle too.
Kittle. I mean, it's another tight end one that doesn't make too much of it. He does block better though.
So I'm going to rebuttal here. Would you rather the Pats weapons with their scheme or Niners weapons with their scheme? Because I think the Niners scheme is horrendous. So
I was going to say, I definitely don't want the Niners scheme.
To me, that's Patriots. But if you want to say Niners just based on their weapons, yeah, Niners have better weapons. But if I'm looking at an offense, who I'd rather play with, Patriots, if I'm a quarterback.
I don't get the Niners, dude. They're such a weird team. They're actually on right now, and I don't have them on.
I would love to see someone try to debate this next one. Justin Fields. Whose weapons would you rather have?
Yeah, Zenkiel, Harry. They are horrendous.
Patriots. And then finally, Davis Mills.
Brandon Cooks.
Damian Pierce.
No,
Nico Collins.
After Cooks, it kind of.
Yeah, no, I mean it's Patriots.
It falls off heavily. Is what I was gonna say. I don't even know who their second receiver is on that team. Is it Kenny Still?
I think it's Nico Collins.
Okay, that can't be good.
Yeah, no, he's not great. But my point is, if you're Mac and you're comparing to all your other counterparts in your draft class, clearly you have the best offense.
I would
maybe not best, but your offense is fine. It shouldn't be an issue. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's something to wait and see what all those issues are. But I hope it's not a weapons thing because that's just like childish to me.
No, I don't think it is, John. I think we're fine.
But I think we'll wrap it up there unless you have anything else.
No, I think that's it. I will say, I just think this is media attention that just doesn't matter, to be honest. It happens once in a while, and I think Mac's coming around that age where there's going to be some rumors and stuff, but it was like Bill and Tom. Like, yes, they hated each other a little
towards
bit.
Towards the end.
But they were homies for a very long time when there was tons of stuff being said about them, and they were like, they would laugh at the media. They're like, they think they know us, but they really don't. Yeah. And I think that could be a little case of that happening here. I am a little worried. Mac is a little bit younger. He might be a little more in touch and know like his boundaries where he doesn't feel comfortable. And he's like, hey, I'll leak to the media right now that I don't even like being here. And that would blow up. Like,
yeah. But maybe it is nothing, right? Like he's still sticking to the whole Patriot way with the interviews. You got like 9 questions and you're just going to take it day to day.
Or like, how's the foot feeling? He's like, I don't know what that means. Talk to Bill. And he's like, no, I'm just asking you how it's feeling. He's like, awesome. Thanks. Next question.
Yeah. I love his interviews.
I was like, that was a great answer, Mac.
But
all right. Yeah, we can wrap it up now.
Also, just quick joke. I saw something that said Bailey Zapp looks like he's meant to play Mac Jones in a Netflix doc. Look at them side by side. It's pretty funny. But
little brother.
Yeah. But that's all we got. We'll see you next week. Hopefully it's a win. I don't know what I want.
I think we tank, but I think we will win.
Hopefully we have something to talk about.
Hopefully there's a lot of passing. Hope it's a lot of Zappy. That would
Oh God. All right.
I hope Hoyer's concussed, and I really
Hopefully.
get to see Zappy do everything this week.
I said no last week, but I
Zappy
think I'd rather Zappy than Hoyer as from an entertainment standpoint. So
although I did think Hoyer was playing fine. He didn't really do much when he played, but it was like
yeah,
it was serviceable. We were moving.
Chill.
It's not, it's not Zappy driving us down the field twice in a row for 2 touchdowns, but
Stop. All right, we're done. We're done. All right, well, we'll see you next week after the Lions game. See you then.